Something very special is happening in the heart of West Sussex. Small groups of men and women from all over the world are gathering in the picture postcard village of West Chiltington at the Windsor workshop to create beautiful wooden chairs, the Windsor chair. Let us meet a group who, in the space of 1 week, will transform chunks of timber into the Crown Windsor chair.
The less you know, the better. So anyway, that's the week, and I think we need to get on and actually do some work. You're looking for the ground to be as straight and continuous along the piece. We've got here a tier, and you can hear it coming up to boiling. And this box just sits on top, and there's a hole in the bottom of the box, so all the steam will come into the box. And we've got a door here, so we can put the pieces of wood in there. Around the room there are all sorts of bending jigs, a bit like a torture chamber. And your bow, your arms or bows or whatever you want to call them, we're going to bend around this former here. And it's a whopping great former. And basically we'll take the piece of wood that's been in there, place it behind this metal strap, tap that waist to lock it against there, and wind the winch. If all goes well, it will just pull around the former. Go on, straight ahead. Don't worry about the others. Somebody else will look after them. Right, that's good. Next one to go in. One quick word about health and safety, really, really important. There are so many ways for you to hurt yourselves this week. You know, there are loads of sharp tools all over the place. We're going to be using steam this morning. And I will show you a safe way of doing every job as we go through. And if you follow that, you should be absolutely fine. Okay. Good. No, forward. Just
Almost poetry motion.
Dryer is this cabinet here, and if you look underneath, there's a little oil-filled radiator, and that's the only heating in the whole workshop. The temperature in there should be probably around 45 centigrade.
Two of each. I think it's 4 days, wasn't it? 4 of this and 2 of each. Yeah.
These are little lathes, and they'll do the job perfectly well. Don't go mad with typing up, but just make sure it's snug, and so there's certainly no weight to it. But don't even take any wood off just near that line. Just sand up to the line, but not beyond. So they returned wet, and they're still wet. They're staying outside, and so they're still completely round. If you dry them from wet, then they'll go oval. If you try to sand them then, it's a little bit more tricky, so it works well to do it now. And then this afternoon is making your spindles, and you've got 14 spindles to make, I think. And they're quite, so they're reasonably chunky spindles, and you'll be forming those with spoke shaves, or many spoke shaves. What we do, the sticks out there are square, and we cheat slightly and we run those square bits through these little gadgets on the corners of the benches, and that will turn them from square to round, and then you shape them. And yeah, you've got 14 to do, so we should be able to get those done today. That would be ideal. So you've got your circles, 2 ends. That looks like the 14mm, so that's the bottom. Now, the bottom, we're going to just taper everything down to that line. 2 tools you're going to use, just 2 spoke shaves. I'm just watching the top, so I'm just about, just left with the pencil marks. That's sitting in there, and that's ideal. Okay, do not get carried away beyond that. So we're getting there. We've sized the bottom, fattest bit here, and we're beginning to get the taper going to the top. 2 inches. Which are yours, right?
Are we getting there?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Thankfully.
This is the sort of general workhorse of my turning, and I probably do 90% of the work with that. Then there's this tool, which is known as a parting tool, and this works on the edge like this, and it goes in and makes a groove. And you use that in conjunction with calipers to size particular pieces, particular points along the leg. And it's a skew chisel because it's ground at a skew, and all I'm going to use on that is the tip to make the lines, to scribe these lines. Okay, there you go.
What's the origin of the name, Windsor?
Nobody really knows, but they were the earliest Windsor chairs that were made around Windsor. And they just acquired that rather nice name with the association.
I'm almost ashamed to say.
Oh yeah, there is no rank. So there's not the tulip wood which comes with the course. There's a lovely stack of some lovely tulip wood here, and
You said tulip. What is tulip?
tulip is a magnolia tree from North America.
Right.
It's the biggest hardwood tree in America. Old American Windsor chairs, they either had seats made of tulip wood or pine, basically. Whereas in this country we use elm. If you make a Windsor chair with 4 vertical legs, you only need to lean a little bit to the side and you'll topple over. So Windsor chairs always have splayed legs, either to the side or to the front or the back. And so this is known as a sight line. So when you look along the sight line, the leg will appear to be vertical. Use under here to adjust the angle. You've got to remember that if these chairs were originally made by hand, and they'd have put the seat on the bench, they've got a drill, line themselves up with the church steeple in the distance, say, yeah, that's about right, and drill. Yeah. This is so super accurate. It's incredibly simple. Squeeze. And that's down to the mark. We want to route this slot for your splat. Guide bush here, which should sit nicely in this slot, like so, and there isn't movement backwards and forwards, but it will run backwards and forwards along the slot. If I've done it right, we should get a 6-inch wide. The next job will be to hollow the seat, and you need to know when to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. And how depth is?
I've set this about halfway through. The idea when I did this chair for the first time is to take this and then taper it out to the corner. So this comes up flat here and then goes around the corner. And I think this wants to taper out to that point.
Usually when it is more horizontal.
It'll be flat between those 2 points. That's the idea. And you need it steeper there because that's where you and rounder for your bottom, and then a longer slope here. Okay. Gentle slope. That's the idea. So your bottom doesn't skid out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whoops. Make like a sort of fire break, or I think it's called a stop cut, across the grain. You start off going across the grain, which is not so nice, but it has to be done. And then you start adding towards that. And you'll end up excavating roughly concentric ovals. Something like that. So now I'll make a start. So I'm just adding, so feet right to the side. the chip comes out. Take away from this is how it's a relatively slow and steady procedure. You're not acting like a woodpecker, pecking away like that. That is no. So, any more?
Yeah.
Okay. So the travisher will make very quick work of smoothing this out and of giving you the final shape. Okay? Then, while you're going backwards and forwards, just gradually drop the blade until it begins to engage. And here we go. Like that. Shave is the best tool to use. But you may end up using the rasp as well. So I'm going to hold this at 45 degrees and just go for it. There we go. Yes.
And if all else fails.
You may not have used a draw knife before. So a draw knife is a blade with two handles. And it doesn't have a throat like a spoke shave or a plane, and so the control of the thickness of the piece you take off is all down to your hands and your judgment. You want to have this at an angle rather than just trying to pull it perpendicular. Have it at an angle like this, and you've got to be a little bit careful in case you get under a bit of grain and you ping off the whole corner of your seat. Obviously you don't want to do. And I've got to just mark this one. So let's come into about there.
Your wife. The police are right.
We're in the last few stages. So if you can do a sort of slicing cut, like so, see how I'm pulling it across the blade like that.
Day 3 on the chairmaking course. How's that piece of walnut coming?
Good.
Excellent. This shape's really coming on now, isn't it?
Do mention you're not meant to wear navy when you're doing this.
No, right.
If you catch the light right, you'll see the texture. Scrub plane. Now this is just a regular plane, but I have ground the blade on a curve. And you can use this across the grain, like so, and it's like ploughing a field. You end up with a sort of, little sort of ridges. It makes it rough in texture.
All of it's coming out.
Tenons on the bottom of your spindles. You basically have it going, stick it on, and you have a tenon. It's not as simple as that, because if you put that on at an angle, I'm exaggerating, you will end up with the spindle and the tenon. So, all right, roughly, okay? Okay. Perfect. And then you can just pull. Spindles will have quite a shoulder like that. And if we do nothing, when that goes into the seat at an angle, that shoulder really is rather ugly. Two ways of doing this. The way I usually do it is to put that vertically in the vise so you can work over it, and take the little spoke shave and just work over about sort of 1.5 inches up to the tenon. And the blue tape is to protect the tenon. You see, I'm already taking bits out of the tape. Hold the gouge right up near the blade, if you're right-handed, and put that on the wood at about 45 degrees. It's going to slice the wood, so you're pushing that across the wood. And you can just take a very fine, controlled cut, and that will also do the same job. So it's up to you.
Where are the plasters?
The really important thing is that this line here is at seat level. So the tenon will be below it.
Okay.
And then draw around the template on the back. And this is the pencil sharpener. It's sort of a conical pencil sharpener. And stick that on there like that to twist it. And it should be quite easy. That is fairly close to the top. Just check it on the seat. Is for this shoulder here to be pretty close to the seat. So if you could please number your legs, so number the seat, number the leg, depth mark and index mark. And you just do that all the way around. Nice clear mark on the top and a little mark on one side. Having drawn around the seat level, bring them to the bandsaw, like that slot first. And then all is going to go in somewhere along this line. So this line will tell you how high above the seat. If you look over with one eye, and you're going to be doing an awful lot of looking with one eye in the next 2 days. With one eye, look over the top of the front leg at the back leg, and take your pencil, and while you're looking, eyeball in halfway between the two ends and make a nice mark. That's on the tip. And you've got bags of spare. Let's do this. So that goes on there. And Brian, if you can tell me up and down.
Down, that's it, fine.
There. Here we go. Watch that black mark. Right, I'm getting close, so now is the time to slow down. So now I'm at the top of the hole, and then one more. Probably a generous turn, but I knew we had a lot of spare. So here's my 1 inch mark, slide it along the top surface, and it disappears. Job done. So these stretchers are over length, deliberately. So we need to form a tenon somewhere here and somewhere here. We need to work out where, from that point to that point. So set the end there, the other end there. We're not measuring into the hole. So 313. So write that down, 313 millimeters. We're going to add 6 millimeters because stretchers stretch the legs apart. And there should be 320. We need to mark that now onto here. So 160 either side. And when you've marked them like that, bring them to me at the lathe, and I will form a tenon beyond, on the outside of those lines. And I know how wide to make it. Okay. You don't need very much, that's masses, and carefully wipe that around the top half of the hole. Size the hammer to give a nice sharp tap, and that's going in. There we go. Just tap it in, job done. Done 4 holes, now you're left with 2 holes. 1 hole here, lining up with a hole. Looking over here, lining this up with the bottom of that, I then reach across, make my mark. Just literally just set it in. That's it.
Bang on.
So, yeah, get it right, but don't obsess about it. Yeah, it's 2 minus 2 blobs bigger than 18. We want to get this height to be 18.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yep.
So this is the clever bit of the whole process. To draw around the bottoms of the legs, all you do is set the pencil at 2 minus 2 blobs. And then you just carefully scribe around each leg. You're going to line this up with that leg and that leg. So that just gets you in the play, and then just cut away, bevel the very ends. So hold the leg underneath, and you'll be perfectly safe. And be fairly conservative. A mallet, and the gouge. Hold the gouge right down near the sharp edge, quite hard side, and go to work tapping. Take your scraper. Initially, just scrape the top of the tenon.
And the string screwed what?
Centered here and adjusted like that until everything seems to be in its best possible position, and put it back in exactly that position. And that can go through. You've got it all done. Shut up. Remark those lines just in a little bit.
That's about 3 millimetres.
No, it's not as much as that. No. Is it? Well, maybe it is. Yes, it is probably. Yes. Yes. 1/8 of an inch. Yes, 3 millimetres. There you go. Yeah, Tom, we had a good one this morning.
What was that?
2 inches.
2 inches and a block.
So, here we go.
Taking out.
Come on, guys, let's go have some tea. We need to mark out where all the holes are going to go in the seat and then in the arm. So, first of all, we want a line around the back platform into which we'll drill the holes. On the side. There we go, just like that. Spindle spacing from the centre. Spindle 1 is 5 inches from the centre, somewhere there. And then it goes 1 7/8. Now, we need to mark out the spindle spacing on the arm. And the spindle spacing on the arm is this right-hand column of the same table. So 1. And now, as we come around the corner, come more into the middle of the arm. So what you've laid out at the moment is the spacing of the spindles. You haven't worked out where on this arm to drill. The secret of this is I want you to move the spot so it's under the centre of the arm, halfway between that edge and that edge. Does that make sense? You're drilling through at an angle, and what you want to prevent is too much breakout on the other side. Once you've done that, that's the end of the day. So I know it's the last day, but don't relax, just keep the concentration going. It's all straightforward, but these holes need to be right.
So you do your usual exercise, you get them out there, and then you cover that dot in that line of sight and drill.
That is more important.
Just go. Not far off, actually.
In the early days of doing this, what we did was had one person drilling and the other person doing that, and when they said ow, you pull the drill. Make sure that the spindles are going to fit. This is number 7, isn't it? So, to the front of the seats. Moment of truth. Yeah! Oh, well done, Brian. You might think that was done on purpose.
On each side.
Like that. And draw around the tops of the spot under the centre of the arm.
Oh, it's a good fit. That's the important part. There.
Shaping of the arms. This shaping will make it comfortable. You obviously don't want to leave it angular like this.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah.
Fairly flush. The important thing is not to hold that there. You will cut yourself, I promise you. We don't want blood at this late stage. So hold the spindle underneath your finger. Something like that. Let's see how it goes. Round-headed glass screws. Back make a complete wheelchair with this to blunt.
Really good. Very good indeed. Super. We wedge it.
Okay, really quick way of trimming these off. It could be a really major job, but it's going to be really quick. You can use the finer side of the rasp. And Stephen, can you snuggle up to do that?
Rocking chair, sitting in the sand, weathered by the storms and well-oiled hands. It sways back and forth with the help of the wind.